Welcome to Israel Memorial Day, Yom HaZikaron. Here we are in the cemetery of Kfar Etzion, Gush Etzion, the beautiful Judean hills, where I am blessed to be living and raising my family. And there is where my friend Ari Fuld is buried, murdered in a terror attack in 2018. Behind them is a whole group of people singing next to the graves of the two D girls, neighbors of ours, brutally murdered, executed in a terror attack a year ago on Passover. And so many new graves in this cemetery for all the new soldiers killed in this war. This is the power of the Jewish people. Not that we mourn, because obviously we mourn and it's sad, and we focus on the pain of missing those who are no longer with us, who paid the price with their lives and being Jews, whether murdered in terror attacks or standing up as soldiers defending our people and our homelands. The power of the Jewish people is not that we mourn. The power of the Jewish people, as Mary Fuld, Ari Fuld's mother, just spoke about, is that we remember as a people our national memory. We still remember what happened to our ancestors back in Egypt thousands of years ago when they were slaves. We still remember what happened to our ancestors when the first temple and the second temple were destroyed thousands of years ago. The national memory is part of our consciousness. It's part of the education of our children. It's part of who we are. It's part of how we live our lives. And yes, each and every one of our friends and family members who we lose today standing up for the Jewish people and standing up for the Jewish state of Israel, they become part of our national memory. We live through them. We keep them alive. We keep their memories alive, whether as the individuals and just as the collective national story of being part today of the miraculous story of the Jewish people returning to our ancestral homeland. And yes, there is a price to pay, but I prefer paying this price than not being in our homeland and not having our own army to defend ourselves. And like I always write, Israel Memorial Day is the price we pay to have our own state once again, as opposed to Holocaust Memorial Day. That's the price we pay for when we do not have our own state. And just look at the growing anti-Semitism today. You do not think Jews are going to be killed in the streets, I don't know, in days, weeks, months, years ahead, with the trajectory of this horrendous Jew hatred spiking all over the world? It's going to come, folks. It's going to come. The violence is going to escalate. And horrible things are going to happen to innocent Jews just walking the streets or living in their homes. But today we are blessed to have our ancestral homeland, to be sovereign in our ancestral homeland once again, so that those Jews who are smart enough to wake up can come home and be here in their homeland. And I always tell you, I don't want Jews moving to Israel because they're running away from anti-Semitism. I want Jews coming to live in our ancestral homeland, the modern Jewish state of Israel, because it's home. This is our homeland. This is where the whole country celebrates Jewish holidays. The culture of the country is Jewish holidays. This is the Jewish homeland. Yeah, it's the Middle East and it's foreign culture, but you're a Jew. You're not an American. You're not French. You're not British. You're not Canadian. You're not Australian. You're a Jew. And this is the Jewish homeland where the culture is Jewish, and we're creating it. We're making it a light for the nations. And you are missing out by not being here with us. So I want Jews coming here because it's home, and come as quickly as possible. If not for yourself, for your children, for your grandchildren. But don't be blind to what's going on. If there would be no Jewish state of Israel today, the state of the Jewish people around the world with the growing anti-Semitism would be worse. So thank God we have an Israel Memorial Day where we remember the price we pay for having our ancestral homeland, being sovereign once again in our ancestral homeland. And thank God we have Israel Independence Day, to celebrate the miracles, not just the miracles of 1948 that God did for us, but to establish our own state once again. But each and every day of the existence of the state of Israel was a miracle. Multiple miracles every day, like we do not think about. We are surrounded by billions of Arab Muslims who want to destroy us and rip us limb to limb. They just did that to plenty of Jews in Gaza and on October 7th. We are surrounded by billions of Arabs who want to destroy us, and if they could, they would, and they try all the time, and yet we're still here. We are a living miracle. We are proof that God exists. We are living miracles. Our lives as the Jewish people is a miracle, proof that God exists, and the existence of the state of Israel is proof that God exists. And if you're a Jew and you're not here yet living with us, come home. So today, as we mourn the loss of our loved ones and close friends who are no longer with us because they paid the price of being Jews living here in ancestral homelands, we focus on remembering who they are, who we are as a people, why we're here in our ancestral homeland of Israel, why Jews are living here, why Jews are supposed to live here, and we move forward, and tomorrow we celebrate. So ending this Israel Memorial Day video on that note, remember what it means to be a Jew, and remember every single one of our ancestors and what they went through, and then think of how blessed you are to be living today. And if you're a Jew living in Israel today, how double blessed you are. To be raising your children in Israel today, how triple blessed you are. And if you're not part of that story yet, well, start making your Aliyah plans. And if you're not ready to make Aliyah, at least get your birth certificate, get those paperwork in order, and come here as a tourist and stay here, and then make Aliyah from Israel. Come here as a tourist. Bring those 2 documents. Come here as a tourist. Signing off for another episode of the Pulse of Israel, everyone. Stay strong, be proud Jews, and if you're not yet a subscriber, go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. Shalom, everyone. Remember the power of the Jewish people. That power is because God above is with us. Our national memory.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.